Hi, it's Scott, ROCKFILE, back with another podcast review. This time we're going to talk about a video game, SHIN MEGAMI Tensei V, or 5, Vengeance. This is a review of the 2024 PlayStation 5 version. The game originally came out on the Switch. They thought this was just going to kind of be a remaster or whatever, but it turns out they have poured a lot into it to make it a great game. Steam gives it a 10 out of 10. 95% of users on Google like it. IGN gave it an 8. GameStop gave it a 9 out of 10. I am a fan of turn-based games, especially late in the evening. It's not as action-packed as a shooter or something a little bit more exciting. It's something where you can take your time, you can plan things out. I like Japanese role-playing games because they usually have an interesting battle system where you swap out different spells, different talismans, or in this case, different demons to complete your party and complete whatever tasks are set you. If you have ever played a Shin Megami Tensei game or a Persona game, this is one of those. It is exactly like that. It's a lot of grinding, a little bit of story, and a lot more grinding. And I like that. I'm over 40 hours into the game, and honestly, the first 10 to 20 hours, I thought, this is it? Everybody raves about this game? Well, now that I'm over 40 hours in, I still am not even close to finishing the game. I know that there are 200 of these mini little things to find in the game. I just passed 101 at 40 hours in. What you think is the map becomes 2 maps, becomes 3 maps, becomes 5 maps. So now the world has become a much bigger place, and you can go back and forth between any of them. The gameplay is your typical turn-based gameplay with different party members. You have you and your certain set of powers, and then you want 3 other demons to complement your powers. The things are broken up into the basic elements, like a lot of Final Fantasy and other Japanese role-playing games with earth, air, fire, water, darkness, light, that kind of thing, the powers. And some of the bad guys that you fight are more prone to getting hit by fire. Their weakness is ice, whatever. You have to find the right combination of what your characters and spells and weapons can do versus the people you find in the battles. And again, it's a lot of grinding. And then this is one of those games that adds to it. When you get back to a place where you can save, you can also start merging these demons together to make new demons and new characters, and you unlock more as demons join your party. You start off by having 4 main characters in your party, but then you also have 4 that you carry with you, and then 8, then 12. Right now I can carry up to 12, and they're leveling up as you level up. Like your 4 main characters, your character and the other 3 do all the fighting and stuff, and it's usually 4 against 1, 2, 3, or 4 other bad guys, sometimes 5 or 6. But the other party members get a little bit of what you do. So as you carry them around with you, you're kind of leveling them up too. Then you get back to a place where you can merge them and do some of the magic sorcery that the game does. There's always some kind of MacGuffin like this to better your weapons, better your armor, but this is bettering your demons. They level up alongside you. Their spells get more powerful. Their attacks get more powerful. Their defenses get more powerful as you get more powerful. As you open up maps, you're going to run into places that you can't get past. The bad guy or the gatekeeper, if you will, is just too tough for you. Find another way. Come back later when you're stronger, that kind of thing. That's happened repeatedly in this game. I will find an area and go, oh, this is going to open up a whole new level. And sometimes they won't even let you play. No, you're going to get wiped, so come back later. Other times it's like, are you sure you want to do this? And I go, yeah. And I'll get killed, or sometimes I get past it on the first try, which is great. And then it opens up a whole nother part of the map. Again, I'm only 40 hours in, so this is not a complete review, but all in all, it keeps subverting expectations and giving me more than I expected when I started playing the game. The only reason I got this game is because I got it for free. Not that I dislike this would be the kind of game I would buy, but last year when I bought a PlayStation 5, I had all these GameStop points and they were going to expire, and if I didn't use the points. So between the game being on sale and the points I had, literally cost me not a thing. I just had to go pick it up. And I was on my way up to a weekend at Hatcher Pass, so stopped by Anchorage and picked up this copy, brought it back. Been playing on it since July. I'm recording this in September. A lot of gameplay here. It's taken me 2 months to get 40 hours into the game. I have played other things. I restarted Borderlands 3 just because everybody was talking about the movie. I just finished Far Cry 6, so I've got some extra stuff to clean up there, but I finished the main story. So I was looking for something that I could play before bed, and well, there's more gameplay here than I expected, so I do play it not just in the end of the evening. It's pretty exciting. The turn-based battles are kind of action-packed. If you keep hitting the buttons, you can keep them moving very quickly. In the old version of some of these Japanese role-playing games, you had to sit there while they cast each spell. But if you've already seen your guy cast a fireball 100 times, well, just hit that X button and it'll just skip right to the actual explosion. So things move pretty quickly for a turn-based game. A lot of open-world exploration. Like I said, there are pathways to get to other areas that you discover. You can jump back and forth between the different levels, the different maps. I don't want to call them levels because they really are giant maps. And I'm still a long way from finishing, so maybe I'll do another one when it's finished up. I just wanted to say, if you're on the fence about this kind of Japanese role-playing game, this is a really good one. It deserves all the high marks and the high reviews, the 8s, the 9s, and the 10s from people. I would not have given that when I started, but it's the little things. They have upgraded, like spell effects are really spectacular, and 4K HDR, really good-looking game. It doesn't reach the realistic levels of the last, Final Fantasy or anything, but for what it's trying to do, looks really good. There's no really any of that texture tearing or things popping up. The levels are so well designed, you don't really know that there's a pathway until you kind of turn this corner and all of a sudden there's a path there. It was kind of just hidden, just out of your view. Really great level design. The characters all look spectacular, and again, the spell effects are really blow you away. They're bright, they're colorful with fire and sparks and smoke, and if you hit multiple characters with some of these big things, what it does is pretty impressive. All in all, I found it a bit challenging. A lot of these Japanese role-playing games, I'll start on the easy setting just to kind of glide through it for a little while. If I find it too easy, I'll ratchet it up. I got to say, it's been a challenge even on the easiest setting. This would be a game that I would come back to a year or two later because it's so much gameplay. It's what I liked about Far Cry 6, which is a completely different game, but once you finish the story, there's still a lot to play there that's fun. The sandbox is great, and the same thing for this game. The sandbox that you're playing in is so great that even when you finish certain parts of the story, you want to go back to that area and just run around and fight some of those monsters because you had such a blast doing it. Again, I'm not trying to turn anybody on to a Japanese role-playing game. It is turn-based. It is slower paced than, say, a Final Fantasy that's got a real-time combat system. But again, I like being able to stop, plan out, swap out characters if I need to, use different items, use different weapons. There's a lot of thinking and a lot of strategy going on to each battle. Makes it, and then it's a real challenge when you get to some of the end bosses. And there's a lot of them in the game because there aren't ends to the levels, but there are these things that have infected the levels, and to get past them, you need to get past a few good fights and then get past them, and it's a challenge. Another thing that this game has done that some Japanese role-playing games do, you wipe out, you run into a 3 of this particular skeleton, right? And you wipe them out really quickly. Oops, wait, there were more skeletons waiting to fight you. And wait, it happens again. So, yeah, don't think you're going to get an easy time even if you play it on the easy level. You can get 3 or 4 rounds of reinforcements from the bad guys to fight, and you have to be pretty solid. But by the time this happens, you have played enough of the game to know where all the controls are, what your demons can do, how to pull up something different to try a different way of beating this bad guy. All in all, I've been very, very impressed. I, again, got it because it was free. It was the only Japanese role-playing turn-based game that got really good reviews that was out at the time. I have pretty much most of the games that I want to play right now. And so, yeah, it was something I could get for free. If I liked it, great. If I didn't, it's got a really pretty Steelbook. But it's been fantastic so far. And I can imagine I probably got another at least 40 hours in the game. I'm probably halfway, give or take. So if that sounds good to you, pick up Shin Megami Tensei V Vengeance. I think the V is for 5, not for vengeance. But anyway, like I said, it came out in 2001 for the Switch. It's now available for PlayStation 5, Xbox, and PC, I believe. Got great reviews. I'm not the only one. So if you're into a Japanese role-playing game and you like the Persona and the Shin Megami Tensei games, then this is a great one. They really knocked it out of the park. I'm going to go back and play some more because I got the day off. Anyway, have a great day. Thanks for listening to a podcast. Be well.